Hi everyone, it's Anja here and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. Today I would like to have a little bit of a different video and I would like to talk about sewing in your ends. Now normally I will sew in my ends while I am watching or listening to some other video, maybe a film or a YouTuber that I follow. But recently we had quite a lot of comments about people who just don't like sewing in their ends. Oh, I don't like sewing in my ends. Why is there so many ends? Why are you doing squares? So many ends. I'm leaving the ends. I haven't done my ends. What am I gonna do? And my advice is always sew in as you go. And during the last Mystery Cal, quite a few people actually started doing this and they found it very enjoyable. And I have to admit, if I make something for myself and I'm not sort of designing it, then I will sew in as I go. But during a design process, for me, it's easier if I can just leave all the ends out, because I am prone to change my mind. And so that way I can easily undo it. So here you can see I am working on my Edith blanket. And of course, yes, I made it really hard on myself because I wanted to do each square in a different color. And yes, I left all the ends on purpose because I knew I wanted to do this film. This video showing you, telling you why I believe it is worth sewing in your ends properly. Yes, it's not so much fun as the actual creating of stitches, but like I do it, put a film on, listen to an audiobook, watch some series. I have several people I follow on YouTube, so these are the times I use to catch up with their published videos. And in a way, it really is worth sewing in your ends properly. So while I usually do this when I'm watching something else, this time, while I filmed this, I was actually thinking of why I should be doing it properly, why I am doing it, and thinking of, calm things. It was almost mindful to do it. So you can turn something that might be a chore to you into an enjoyable thing. And I think Layla agrees with me. Ends are part and parcel of the hobby. There's no way around it. Each time you change color, there is going to be 2 ends. Leave your ends quite long. It helps. It helps enormously to later on deal with them. If they are really short, it just doesn't make sense to do it like that. So as you can see in the video, I have left my ends quite long. Makes it easy to work with. change direction. Stay within your colour. These are all things I have said before. I am not a fan of glue. I like to sew in longer ends in different directions and do loop-the-loops. As you can see here in my example, I am using sharp needles because I do prefer those to blunt ones. I find that going through thread helps with securing. So I do as many backwards and forwards as I fancy. And like I said, it is all part and parcel of the hobby. So don't cut them off short, keep them long and enjoy sewing them in. Spend some quiet time sewing in your ends. But why should we do it properly? Why should we not rush and do it quick? Because you probably heard the saying, a job worth doing is a job worth doing well. We've spent so much time creating the actual product, creating the stitches, creating the blanket, creating the cardigan, creating whatever we were making. We've spent hours and hours making and creating, maybe even deciding the colors, thinking of the pattern. Oh, so long have we spent on making the actual item. And then when it comes to finishing it off, making it look extra nice, we don't want to do it anymore. We don't fancy sewing in the ends. Well, it's letting yourself down. It's letting your project down. Sewing in the ends nicely and properly is going to ensure that you have an extra level of finish on your blanket, of professionalism, of being proud of your crochet skills, your crochet art. It is showing that you are proud of what you have made. Also, it will show the recipient, if you're giving it away, it will show the recipient a lovely finish, an invisible finish. It adds to the quality of whatever it is that you have created. And just think about it. Yes, you have spent hours making this. And you've spent hours, coming up with the pattern, the colors, getting the yarn. It took a long time. But the time that this blanket, for instance, is going to be in existence, is going to be used, is so much longer. I have blankets that my grandma made. There is absolutely nothing wrong with those blankets. There is not a thread coming undone. There's not a stitch out of place. I've had those blankets for years and years and years. Some of them are used on a daily basis. Yes, I've put a lot away, of course, because you can only use so many blankets. But all those blankets, there's not an end sticking out. They have all been made in such a loving, caring way, and I am enjoying them even now. So whatever time you are spending now on creating your project, that time is minuscule in comparison to the time that object is going to be in existence. It is going to be used, it is going to be handled. You do not want an end to start coming out. You want it to stay tucked in, nice and secure for the recipient, for you, for the child, for whoever you gave it to enjoy using it. Some of these blankets are heirlooms. They stay around for much longer than you. And you want your legacy to be perfect down to the last second it's around. This is in fact why I think it is so worth spending time sewing in your ends properly, lovingly and mindfully even. Yes, do it with a video, or something that you're watching, but you are still having some lovely crochet time. Although you're not crocheting, you are finishing your crochet project. So these are some of the musings I came up with a couple of weeks ago when I was sewing in the ends on this blanket, and it has changed my vision about, let's quickly sew in those ends. I'm going to be doing them, but spending just a bit more mindful time of sewing in the ends and making sure I finish my projects really, really nicely. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Enjoy sewing in your ends. Bye!